AllReasonNoLogic.
Battle started.
We're back again for another chaotic round of Beyond All Reason with All Reason No Logic. Today's matchup puts Pigz, a man with a sort of game plan, against TankTom, a player who knows what to do every other day. Can Pigz' wacky moves catch Tom off guard, or will Tom's steady head guide him into victory? It's bound to be a bumpy ride. I'm Twig, joined by Pradith and Bruticus, and we're here to call out every questionable choice in real time.
You're joining us on Isidis Crack, where we've got Pig as the Armada player and Tom as the Cortex player. We've got Tom starting off with vehicles and Pig's going into his standard bots. Would love to see a chance to push Pig's off of those bots to start with, but his early game pawn rushes are very strong.
He hasn't learned the power of a blitz, though. He needs to learn that.
Not sure why he's jumping out back to the wind when his wind's not stalling at all.
Who's this?
Anyway,
Pigz. Tom.
Just both of them did. Pigz had full wind and then stopped building the lab about 5 seconds before it was finished. But anywho, for those wondering, these guys don't play a lot of multiplayer ranked games. Plenty of unranked, but the true skills around maybe 20 for TankTom, and Pigz maybe a little bit lower, closer to the low teens, but definitely up and coming. When he's able to push in the early game, he can find that odd win.
Yep.
Can definitely have a dangerous early game when he's on the ball.
For those that have stuck around through a lot of our streams or our 1v1 games, I used to verse him quite a bit in this, and it was kind of relaxing at the start, and now even I have to really turn it up at the start of a game because he does know how to push those early units. Get a good scout and do a lot of damage, because those pawns do have great DPS.
Fortunately, Tom's vehicle bot, he's noticed it and he's moving it out. It was blocking his lab for a second.
Yep. One of the things that you always want to do when you're setting a build immediately out of the gate is to try and is to give it a command to move somewhere first. Again, Tom moving it over the top of his lab again. Won't block the unit that's currently being built, but it will stop the next one.
Pigz is already scouting for some easy maxes or maybe an easy wind. Doesn't know where Tom is yet, but Tom definitely knows where Pig's pawns are with that incisor. Well, he's stopped now.
Yeah.
I do like the early expansion that Pigz is doing up on the back of his hill.
Yep.
While Tom's getting his he's got his construction tower up now.
Now I don't know if Tom's realised this, but those pawns can climb up these hills, hitting F2 for legacy keys or F6 for the grid keys. You can see where a unit can travel when it's selected. You can see selecting the tanks there cannot go up these hills.
Yep.
Incisor is moving around though to come up and intercept, and the comm's up on that hill now as well. So not a fun time to be a pawn if you run into him.
Now, a great move here. I'd love to see Pigz, knowing that Tom's going into tanks, build almost his entire economy up on that hill, because there's only one entry point that those tanks can get up.
Yep.
Down the south. No, they can't even get up there.
No, the only option that Pigz would really have is Wolverine. Tom would really have his Wolverines if an eco was up there, or not transferring. I'm transitioning into air or bots himself.
Yep. And we've got the first little engagement of the game. Single pawn against an incisor. There's almost no chance of a pawn beating an incisor.
Instantly eaten up as well by the construction vehicle.
And
quite a
and the
big
incisor
push
goes
coming in,
back up.
guys. We have got, what is that? 850 metal worth of units.
15 pawns and a mace.
But they are nice and spread out, so Tom's getting a fantastic early engagement on them, taking 3 of the pawns out for almost no damage so far. Pig's forced to retreat because he spread his army too wide. If you move that across in a pack, it's actually much safer. However, you could possibly miss a counterattack if you're doing that. TankTom still at the army disadvantage. I wouldn't mind him sending a couple of those more damaged units back for healing in the build turret. but both players focusing on getting some early defenses and pushing those mechs out. Tom significantly faster than Pigz.
We've
That
got
early attack
double
has
the
cost
metal
him a bit.
economy
Yeah,
right now.
11 to 24. That's a serious advantage in T1.
Yep.
With
Yes,
a build
the
turret
early
backing it
attack.
up as well.
The early attack not paying off, though. TankTom sending those tanks wide. That's definitely an opportunity for a metal donation, which is exactly what it is.
Yeah. And Centurion's out as well now, so those incisors are becoming less effective every second.
Yep. Though that one incisor could potentially snipe the construction bot down here. If it does, if it sees it, that is. That could be huge for TankTom because Pig's known for getting easily disrupted.
He's just missed it too.
Yeah, bugger.
Tom actually has 3 incisors coming down the bottom of the map as well.
Yep. And another force of them coming from the top down. So Pig's in a bit of a cleanup zone. One incisor getting picked up again.
Because finally almost got his construction turret built. It's 18 seconds away.
Yep. TankTom running within the range of the high ground LLT. These small attacks definitely more in the form of a metal donation, yeah. Except unless Pigz doesn't catch it and lets them in.
Oh, is he going to degun his own lab?
Oh.
Well, it's still a hefty metal donation, but TankTom potentially could have done a decent amount with that if he'd been able to push through and get the wind, push through and get those mexes.
I reckon Tom has realised how little economy Pigz has, and I don't think he minds the metal donation whilst he's continuously expanding. He's not even protecting his mexes, knowing he's on the front foot, and I do like that. He's got a massive eco advantage now, and he's going to be punching out those stronger units. I would love to see on a map this size some brutes. I reckon that'd be a lot more effective than the slow pounders.
Well, he's gone into a 1-1-1 of Wolverine, Pounder, and Lasher.
That's what you typically see out of me in an AI game, but in a small map, I usually go 3 pounders to 1 Wolverine and 1 Lasher. On a large map like this, I'd actually be running brutes for the extra speed.
I think I'd be going just brutes myself on this.
Yeah.
I'd almost never do something like a Wolverine or a Shell Shocker on a map like this, because it's just going to very rarely hit the mark. You're not having lane battles as such. You're constantly going around and scouting. Very good by Pigz, breaking up his units. He's very much improved in not sending units out, and he's going to take out a lot of mexes, and only Tom's commander in the background there.
Yeah, and the one up the top has a move order to go check mexes as well, which is fantastic. Set up the move order and then forget about it.
Yep. When you're in this sort of level of metal advantage, something which is actually, in my opinion, worthwhile is sending a builder around to pop just a single LLT around a bunch of these 3 mex points.
Both players in a massive metal excess at the moment.
Yep. Need Tom thankfully getting more build power.
Yeah, 5 construction turrets now, so he's going to be able to pump units.
He must have kept that right below the max, because he didn't actually overflow whatsoever, but it definitely looked like he did.
Yep. And he's switched his build order around, realizing that incisors are the tank of the day today. The mobility is going to sail him to a victory. You don't have to trade efficiently when your income is double your opponent's.
Especially when your opponent is sending their units into you right in front of your base and donating the extra metal there.
Yep.
Pig's desperately needing to build with blueprints. He gets in good habits and almost always forgets them, unfortunately. Those blueprints, I think we had a few comments on YouTube about whether they're useful or not. For someone that does forget to continuously expand their eco, I guarantee you they are beneficial, just so that you do not forget to continuously expand.
Something's better than nothing, that's for sure.
Yep. TankTom dealing with his energy crisis, understanding that he has a decent amount of metal that he can pour into the advanced solars. On a map like this, wind is definitely the better choice, but you can always reclaim those advanced solars if you need to. Transitioning into an air lab, again, when you're at this level of advantage, not something you need to do. However, those air builders are going to make map control and mex control much easier. Might even be good for getting some of that reclaim if you don't have res bots, which you don't playing as vehicles.
Into a T2 air lab.
That is certainly a play, and at 52 metal a second, it's not the worst play, and he is eating back those advanced solars to get the metal back.
I wouldn't be eating all those. I'd be leaving them. You're
I
going to need
don't
that
mind that he
energy.
ate the one.
He's on still 1150 energy, so still got a big energy advantage.
T2 air transition, like when you've got the bombers are 18,000 energy apiece, even the gunships are 7,000, and the fighters are 5,000. You're going to want to have at least maybe double the energy that Tom's got. You want a couple thousand for T2.
Yeah.
Although if he goes wasps, you're looking at 6.8k energy, so they're a little bit more forgiving. But we're going for the 72,000. Yeah, 72,000 energy. But I want to see this.
Tom.
I want to see this dragon. I don't think Pigz has ever faced a dragon, so this should be fantastic.
Something worth noting: a little combat that's happened on the left side of the crack in the middle. One thing you really need to be aware of when you mix pounders, wolverines, and particularly incisors in the same mix, the pounders tend to kill your own. The pounders and the wolverines tend to kill your own incisors almost better than the enemy does. Tom throwing his army into Pigz. And he's going for a run by, which is definitely the right move. Pigz getting some panic LLTs up. He should have enough to stop this, and Tom's leaving his units out.
There we go. He's corrected himself.
Yeah,
we might see a gun loss of units here.
While he's building that dragon, he's running out of army to have on the field, and if Pigz gets that
big miss
and realizes it,
massive miss micro by Tom. Tom does not need to be doing any macro right now. He is building a dragon and doesn't need to be touching that in any way, shape, or form. His base is doing nothing for the next minute and a half, which means that he should have had the ability to micro that perfectly, but he didn't.
And no metal coming in. I think Tom needs to reclaim. I think he might even go for the snipe with that dragon.
I mean, so long as you don't get degunned. Because that's a hefty investment to be degunned.
With the lack of energy from Mr. Pigz, and still no blueprints, but he's at least put down some wind finally after several minutes. And
the dragon's out.
There we go.
I just want to see that thing go down there right now.
I don't think Tom quite realizes how powerful dragons are. You do not need to.
Yeah. That's a com kill right there, especially against inexperienced players who never fought a dragon before. Pigz might not even realize that you can degun them.
Yep. A dragon can kill a com in about 5 seconds.
Tom really playing with fire here. His commander's quite close
out the
without a degun.
Units just now in... he's just now got Pigz's units in radar range. TankTom needs to get that dragon on the front line if he's going to defend this push.
And there it is, it's activating, but it is heading down along the side of the map to Pig's base instead of defending. Big micro there.
Dragons need energy too.
Tom needs to cancel this dragon and build some gunships if he wants to not lose his entire base.
Yeah.
And he needs to redirect that other dragon to the base.
Yeah.
There. No, it's just heading straight to the base, so he might be going straight for the site.
Now, can Pigz see that this is air?
Yes,
and he can
yes,
now.
He can.
And what is the reaction?
No reaction so far. I think Pigz might believe that there isn't one already on the field.
Alright, Tom's got a smart thing running his commander.
And Tom needs to keep that energy up because these dragons do need energy, and that commander needs to not be walking while... Here we go, we might get the snipe.
Just needs to stand still.
Just needs to find that commander, and there it is.
There it is, he's on it.
Is he going to degun? He's keeping it really close to him.
You want to micro a bit back if you've got a commander that's active and you're fighting it. Keep a little bit so you can dodge the deguns.
Oh, wow. Let's get him back in.
I want to hear Pigz. I want to hear Pigz. What the fuck was that?
Pigz, did you expect a dragon?
I said worse than that.
How'd you feel
Well-
there, Pigz? Because you were sacking Tom's base.
He's a cunt. That's what I'm going to say. I was going really well there. I was like taking everything out, and I didn't expect that. Well, I was well played, but I was like, what the f? I heard air, but I didn't expect that.
I was hoping to make
Jesus.
sure that the first air you detected was a dragon, because you shouldn't be able to stop it. I was hoping to get two to rock up at the same time, but you kind of cut me off there.
Yeah,
We were surprised that you didn't build some gunships last minute to defend from that attack, to cancel
Yep.
that second gunship, because you would have got them about 5 seconds a piece, I reckon. With that economy you had, was far superior. I reckon your economy was approximately double. Pigz, what'd you forget to do? Like every game we tell you when you don't do it. Blueprints.
Blueprints energy.
You had no
I was
energy.
building energy. I actually had more energy than I actually met this time.
You had definitely not enough energy if you watch that
No,
replay.
it was dying quite well in the start, like.
Yeah, Tom
worried about you
building
coming round that
almost
back.
double the energy.
When I did the early raid and see that you hadn't expanded and you weren't taking up a whole lot of space, so there couldn't be too much energy in there, I thought I was going to be relatively safe, or at
We
least know I had some time
appreciated
to
the
build off.
laugh. It was great. Have not seen a dragon that early out in a game. 14-minute victory with a dragon.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Though, Tom, you really did cut it quite close and you didn't have to. Just some comments on your frontline play. While that dragon was building, you were focused solely on you could have focused solely on micro, but instead you threw a lot of units away on the front line, and I mean a lot of units. If you're going for that dragon play, you didn't need to be on the offensive there, and in particular, if you were, you could have spent your entire focus on keeping those units alive. Very risky play to sack your army while the dragon's building, and then getting the second one, also very, very risky play when you've got no more front line left.
You had 1 pounder actually on top. That's all you had.
So that's just my.
You should have heard
my
my.
2 cents.
You should have heard my heart sink when I saw that pounder. Oh God, here we go. He's been talking to Pred again.
And you could have degunned that if you had that energy from those blueprints. Anyway, it was a good game. A very exciting one for us to watch. We watched with anticipation, hoping that dragon would come out, and it did. You delivered, Tom. And everyone, if you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. It gives us the motivation to produce more of these videos. And also, if you have a replay that you'd like us to commentate on, please drop that in our Discord. The link can be found on the AllReasonNoLogic YouTube down in the description. And follow that. You can also join us on our Wednesday, Friday and Sunday Verse AI or Verse Player Wacky Games. I hope to see you there.
Catch you next time.
Bye for now.